Hello, hello. It's the After Hour 49ers show on Friday. If you guys are just joining us or you are coming from across the way from No Border Sports' show, we appreciate you. I got Korey here and STEVO, and we're going to just continue the conversation and have a lot of fun. Korey and me has been talking for a little while, STEVO, so let's hear how your Fridays went and what do you got to say?
Well, I was at the park for a while, so I missed quite a bit of what you guys were talking about. Just wanted to hang out. I'm bored. Friday night, trying to stay out of
Cool.
trouble. You know what I mean? Corey, you look
Yeah.
like you're bed. I didn't even see you there. Like literally, it's like I get to see your head and your shirt, your sweater matches your bedding.
Yeah.
Your sweater matches
Uh,
your
so sorry. Technical difficulties. Try and turn the phone down. All right. So yeah, we had a lot of fun on No Border Sports. We were talking just a little bit. Kind of gets a little weird sometimes when we have Spongy in there and some of the conversations we go, I mean, like we try to remember, try to be appropriate and we're having fun, and he's almost one of the guys, he's a little guy, but we got to remember he's a little guy too.
Yeah.
But
and he's smart for his age.
hey, very smart, very, very smart. And I think that's why, we all enjoy having him come on because, he can hold his own. Yeah, we don't like seeing the elbow picture, but that's funny too. So shots fired, but they're it's all right. And I'll say it again. He's my favorite little eagle. So what do you think, Korey? You gonna say fly eagles fly?
No way. 49ers
Yeah,
smash
I
them
think.
birds, pluck them feathers.
So Corey, you ate alligator. Is there anything you won't eat?
Um,
Like, cause
chitlins,
I've had sushi a few times, never had
sushi.
fish. Really, like I wouldn't eat a snake. I definitely wouldn't eat alligator. So, like, is there you got a limit?
I won't eat sushi and I won't eat chitlins.
Oh, we got to up in chat right now. Look at everybody coming in. Annie Nguyen, this is my wife's cousin. Very, very nice lady. Wonderful. This is probably my sister Michaela on my dad's phone. Hey. And then we got No Borders. Thank you, Ryan, for coming through. Get you some sleep, man. And yes, it's Holly. Bebop, thank you for coming. Dude, dude's everywhere. And
Bebop needs to call in one day.
I'm working on it. I've been trying to see if he'll come on a Monday show with me and David, and maybe that'll be like his cherry, and from there we can just get him christened, and he'll start coming in regularly. And yes, Holly, come visit me at work, miss the little one. We will come and do that. We will definitely come do that soon. And Bebop with the smiley face. We love the smiley face. So hey, Steve, we were talking on Ryan's show, and Bebop was saying he's got to go walk. It's about 1 o'clock back there, maybe even later now. And he said that he was going to go get something to eat downtown. So we were a little bit nervous, and he had said it too. He hoped he didn't get stabbed, and thank you, he didn't. But he said he was going to go get a burrito. So I'd asked him in the chat, have you ever had a torta?
Which is a sandwich.
Yep. And so obviously you know what a torta is. And what's your thoughts on a torta?
It's a Mexican sandwich, a different kind of bun. I go to a couple places that, and even one of them is a taco truck. I either get the nachos or the torta. They have different kinds of meats that I don't really understand, but I get them anyways. If they taste good, I get them. But yeah, I seen that when I was at the park with my dog. He was going to a taco truck. Like there's certain places because I'm white, and they, oh, this guy was here 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like hook him up. It's just like it's basically a sandwich, but I've been upping my spice tolerance, so I've been eating habanero on almost everything I eat. But some habaneros are really vinegary, so it's kind of ruining my experience right now because you gotta find the right haban. I don't want something super hot. That's pointless. But I want something that's not vinegary like Tabasco.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to, but you don't know until you buy it. So that's the But tortas are good. I like tortas. I got a Roberto's Taco Shop like about a minute and a half from my house, and I go there all the time.
So Corey, have you ever had a torta?
No.
So a torta, like Steve was saying, it's a Mexican sandwich. It's a really nice. You can get chicken, anything you can get on a burrito. You can basically get on a torta. Any type of meat basically. But then they'll put lettuce, onion. I think they put sometimes tomato on it. They'll put just every one of them has their own little kick to it. But I was always like a burrito guy, and I'd walk up to the burrito truck and see the torta, and there was like a smiley face, like they made like some kind of picture or whatever. And I was like, what the hell's a torta, right? Well, one day I was brave enough and I asked him, hey, I live in California. I've lived here like 20 years. What's a torta? So they started laughing. They started telling me. So then I ordered a torta, and then I ate a torta for the rest of the year. I never went back to a burrito. And then I like tortured myself out, like I had too many. And then I went back to the burrito. So now every time I go up to the truck, I'm like, ooh, do I want a torta or do I want a burrito? Because I'm like back on that, even pace. And I'm very proud to say I've stepped up my game. I went from the mild sauce to the hot sauce. I can't do it on every truck, but every once in a while you can do a little hot sauce. It's good for your, immune system and everything. So
Is that the red or the green?
well, the truck I go to, the green sauce is the mild, and then the red would be, I guess, the hotter. So, but it varies different taco trucks. So, but yeah, that was what we were talking about earlier, and then of course we were talking a little bit about like we were supposed to break down like the divisions and go over like the NFC and the AFC opponents, and I think we were going to try to do the whole league, but I don't know if there's enough time for that sometimes. But yeah, that's what we were talking about. And then I know you and me were talking earlier, Corey. I don't know if you got to hear this a little bit, but there's been a lot of conversation on the quarterbacks we have, and we're just going to name them. Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold in no particular order. But if you were going to look at the stats, Corey, and the athleticism, and Steve he knows what I'm saying here. Sam Darnold's the tallest, he's the biggest, and he can throw the furthest. That doesn't mean he has it up here, but that's basically like if you're looking at a scouting report, you're going to say Sam Darnold should start. Brock Purdy, we know what he's done, but he's the shortest one out of the group, and now he's coming off an injury that we may or may not know. Well, we don't know, and let's just be honest. We don't know the outcome of the surgery. He could be RoboCop, or he could be the Bionic Man, or he could be like Gumby, right? So we're fingers crossed. And then that's kind of where we've been at with Trey Lance, because apparently now more and more information's coming out. They're either trying to make him look better, or somebody's starting to say something, because I said it before. I thought it was his middle finger, but now it's his index finger that was broken. And I went back and looked at reports, and I'm like, yeah, it does say index finger, but I clearly remember hearing it was his middle finger. But regardless, I could be wrong.
I heard pinky yesterday.
See?
So, and that doesn't make sense, because you should still be able to throw the ball with your pinky. And I didn't fact check or nothing, but that's what I heard yesterday.
Thank you.
Which makes no sense. I mean, what I mean? Like your index finger, total sense. Your pinky, what I mean? Like that didn't make sense to me. But that's what I heard yesterday.
But to have multiple fingers that are injured and no one can get the right finger, like and then you're going to say, okay, well, he didn't play. He didn't start because he broke his finger. Then he comes in for the Cardinal game, and he was going to start the next week. But then you say, oh, no, he injured his knee. But you already said he could start the next week. But now Jimmy's ready, so you go back to Jimmy. And then we know how the carousel kind of worked its way out. But I think Trey Lance has a lot of opportunity.
I mean, the thing is that
athleticism, it's there for him.
We didn't know about Trey Lance's finger, right? We all thought Jimmy was broken and he was butthurt that Trey Lance was coming in, right? We'd all agree on that?
Yeah.
We didn't hear about the finger, right? So we thought the rotation of the QBs was because Jimmy's morality was being hurt, and that's what we thought. The same with Michael McGlinchey, right? We're like, oh, he's playing like crap. Whatever, right? He had 2 broken ribs. Nobody's going to work on that, much less playing football, right? We didn't hear about that until the week he got fully healed.
Yeah.
then he spilled the beans, right? So when you got other people coming out of nowhere talking about the Niners, like I don't buy it because like us as I'm not a creator, but us as fans, like we had no idea. We were all speculating and we all looked stupid because the Niners don't leak. And I apologize because I just realized like your kid's not moving, and I realized both your guys' screens are frozen because I left my TV connected to my hotspot. So,
Oh,
but I mean, like we didn't know this stuff, so we know stuff doesn't get leaked, right?
mm-hmm.
So all this stuff coming from out of other places, like we know, is probably not factual. I mean, but like at the end of the day, like like last I can remember when I was watching Jackhammer a lot, I said, hey, what about this wobble? This wobble was before his finger was broken, so it had nothing to do with the wobble. People are trying to say that's why, or his accuracy. I mentioned it to Jackhammer before his finger was broken, and he was like, "Oh, I don't think it's a problem," blah, blah, and he blew me off. And then all of a sudden, since then, like it's been brought up. Like I didn't see one person report on that until I brought it up. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back, and I might get arm fatigue. I don't know, but
Hey, if you have to take 2 to 3 days off to recover from that, it's okay. Because I guess that's like, that's the normal, recovery time, 2 to 3 practice days. So I didn't buy it, him having arm fatigue. The only thing I could try to make it sound correct in my head is okay, he didn't play a whole lot, in his college. He didn't play a whole lot as a quarterback in high school. So maybe like the athleticism, the normal stretches, the normal, like, okay, maybe there's some kind of stock to that, but I didn't buy too much into it because arm fatigue from a quarterback, the guy should be, like,
sounds sounds weird.
yeah, sounds very weird. What do you think, Corey? I know me and Steve are talking a whole lot. Don't be afraid to jump in.
Yeah, that don't sound right. That sounds like um
The cover.
I can't believe that his finger was hurt for 2 seasons. And I can see one. 2 seasons.
That's what I'm saying. The wobble was before the
I
broken
don't think
finger, so you can't use that as an excuse.
The wobble came in when he got drafted. He didn't have a tight spiral at camp.
Yeah, and I forgot because we've been talking. It seems like 8 years we've been talking about QBs, so I literally can't remember how long it's been now. But I mean, that if you're throwing with power and people are dropping it on 5-yard drops, your finger's fine. You know what I mean? So it was clearly before the injury, so we can make all the excuses. My only thing is like with Trey, like it's his RPOs. I want to say you changed the playbook, whatever. We didn't get him to be a pocket QB, right? He was running RPOs and he was reading the wrong read like half the time from what I've watched. I mean, and I've played the game and I'm like, man, I keep making the wrong read. This should be easy. And I'm like, oh, it's not that easy. He was making the wrong read. So you could say he ran like, got out, ran a bunch, but in reality, he was making the wrong read most of the time. So like, you got to work on that. You can't make no excuse that it's not your finger. That's your brain, and you're supposed to be smart. So that confuses me.
I think you nailed it right there. I think you nailed it. They wanted him to come out and play like Mahomes. They wanted him to come out and play like Deshaun Watson. They wanted him to come out and be like, Lamar Jackson. And he's not necessarily that guy. He's a mobile quarterback, but he's not a running quarterback. And they're trying to make him be mobile. They're trying to make him be a pocket quarterback too. And that's not necessarily all what he is. A lot of people get mad. They're like, why does he run up the middle? He runs up the middle. He runs up the middle because he was bigger than everybody in college. And, running straight up the line, he was running people over. I don't see him getting to the outside and, running the option. I see him getting out to the outside and throwing the ball. So the Niners, they definitely haven't had necessarily like a consecutive, like a solid plan for the guy. Everybody wants him to run the Jimmy offense. Well, he's not. He was brought in to like expand the offense, right? We changed 2 running backs so he could start being like more in the shotgun formation. And then they went back and said, oh no, he needs to run under center. And then we're like, well, Jimmy runs under center, right? Like he played. So it was like almost like they were changing the offense, and they said, nope, nope, that's not going to work. Now let's go back. They got rid of the 2 running backs that they brought in for him. I'm like, I'm just
Do you
really
believe?
like,
Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Because I've never heard that before, except for with us, that we bring in specific receivers and running backs for a QB. Do you believe that?
I've only heard it from like us as content creators, us as fans. Other people on different channels have said, "Oh, well, Trey Sermon was brought in to play with Trey Lance, or TDP was same thing. He's Trey Lance." We have Danny Gray. He's come in. He's supposed to be Danny Gray, Trey Lance fingers. Ayuk's supposed to be Trey Lance's guy, right? But I've only heard it from us. I'm not hearing it from like other places, and I try
I've,
to listen out. So
yeah, I've never heard it anywhere else, so I'm not sure if that's true or not.
oh, shout out to my wife. She's spreading the joy. She went to Rombo's chat. We're big Rombo supporters over here. If you guys haven't been to Rombo, I know you all have here, but we go to Rombo. Me and Rombo go back. Tony goes back with Rombo to like, I don't know, 2014, something like that. Dude's been doing it forever. We used to call in all the time and listen to all the shows, and we've been listening to his shows, but you guys also know I've kind of been on with you guys during some of his shows, so it's kind of hard sometimes. When you get done with your show, I'll jump out like on a Wednesday night, and I'll go call into him and say hi to
I
him for
see
a few
you.
minutes. Yeah,
No, yeah, I was there.
yeah,
I was
like
there.
I
Sorry.
call in, you see I call in, and then you see how the chat is too. And it's like, I don't think I come in and say crazy shit or anything like that, but the chat right there is just like super wild. And Rombo, he'll defend me, and he'll stick up for people and stuff like that in the chat. So that's why I don't try to like, but sometimes, like, yeah, Rombo, next caller, so I get it too. But yeah, you start
No, yeah,
recognizing.
and I'm that guy too. I mean, like tonight there was a guy on, and I hardly catch it, but there's a guy on, like he's talking about Sam Darnold see ghosts, and just crapping on there, and I'm like, I don't even care about Sam Darnold, but you know what? That ghost was like 5 years ago, dude. Get over it, man. Why can't we let that go? Do you still complain about the Aaron Rodgers? We didn't draft him. Do you still complain about DeForest Buckner? You probably do. You probably complain about your ex-wife that cheated on you like 10 years ago. Like, let it go, man. Like, the NFL messed up because it was a Monday Night Football game. He was on the sideline. That should have never been aired. That had to get cleared to get aired. How is that in any player's safety to air that? I just watched it last night. Like, that is not cool. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, I guess he ghosts, but like, do you think he's still having symptoms 5 years later? No. So just like people need to let it go and like, you know what I mean? Give the guy a fair shot, as they say.
Corey, what do you guys say about the whole ghost thing? Because I got a little bit to say, but I would like to hear what you guys say. Because the whole seeing ghost thing, that was, what do you got? What do you got?
I would like to know more about it. I would like to know him to explain to me what you mean, ghost. Is it you see a football player coming at you, and then also they just disappeared? What's your meaning behind that? Because if he's talking about that, then I can see. But if he's just talking about he's seeing ghosts, like you see somebody out there, like a receiver out there running, and he's throwing a ball to him, but he's not throwing the ball to the receiver, he's throwing it to the defense back. So I'd like him to clarify.
I mean, it means he had a concussion, is what he's saying. He had a concussion, I believe.
I would like to hear, like, too, what he meant by it. Because are you meaning that you're seeing people that aren't there? Or do you mean you're getting scared on the field? Because you're supposed to be a football player, a warrior, right? You're not supposed to be afraid to be on the field. So I think you're right, Steve-O. He must have been like saying he was seeing people that wasn't there, because that's the only thing that it could mean. And I know Tony and me, we joked the other day. She put a short out there about him seeing ghosts. But it is very funny to have the NFL actually release that. And then, this is a first round draft pick. This is the back of the New York Jets franchise, like he's supposed to be a franchise player that the league is supposed to be like, not necessarily fully endorsing, but why wouldn't they endorse every player, right? Why are they going to make one player look bad or put light on them, like that. So
An NFL exec has to, when you're mic'd up, they have to approve what's said because you're not going to give away plays and this and that, right? Somebody approved it. I'm sure don't have a job anymore because how is that in any player safety? That is totally not in player safety. Like he got his bell rung. That's what it meant. You know what I mean? Like to put that on, like as a Monday Night Football, he was mic'd, but they don't tell you everything he's saying, obviously, right? And to put that out there and to make him look like that, like is totally not fair to the guy. And I didn't know that for a while. I heard about the ghost thing, but I wasn't a Jets fan, so I didn't care. But that's totally like that's unacceptable. You know what I mean? And like, what's even more acceptable is he has no symptoms 5 years later. Okay, why are we still freaking talking about it as Niner fans? Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, what the freak is that? Like, I got my bell rung. I've seen stars.
yeah,
Who cares? You know what I mean? Why keep bringing it up? Like, why can't anybody let anything go? Is what I don't understand.
yeah, and that's
That's
why.
a serious. Look at Tua right now. That's a freaking serious situation that the NFL messed up. They have independent doctors to purposely stop it, and guess what? It still didn't happen. So how do you think the NFL looks when they do that thing with Sam Darnold when we have this thing right now with Tua?
Did you guys hear what they're doing with Tua's helmet?
I vaguely heard they're modifying it, but I might have been on a stream. I'm not even sure where I heard it.
That's what I heard too. They're supposed to kind of put some kind of like airbag in his helmet, and I don't understand if that's gonna. I don't really think that's gonna do good. If like an airbag goes off, right? It's gonna explode really fast. So if you get hit on the ground and then boom, you get another concussion inside your helmet, is that really gonna do you good? I mean, like that's almost like getting rattled twice, right? So I don't know how. I'm not a scientist, and I'm definitely not a helmet designer, but that don't sound
Well,
right.
I think if there was a better option, everybody would already have it by now. So I'm not sure I believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not going to just do it for one person. Like, what about you know what I mean? The other 1,500 people in the league or whatever.
Yeah, I really think if Tua gets hurt this year, the NFL is going to be in a lot of problems, a lot of problems. Because at this point,
Sure.
they know he's injury prone, and they know the type of injuries he's had. So I don't know. I know the NFL can't really tell him to sit down and you can't play anymore, but I almost think it would be better for him, But who knows? Maybe the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, right?
I mean, dude. I mean, I think he was maybe pretty close to being an MVP candidate. And I mean, you look at it, and he wasn't playing bad before he got hurt, but like they mismanaged it. So now everything is going to be on them. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, they fired the independent doctor, but everybody's watching this situation because literally this affects their whole franchise, right? Whether Tom Brady goes there or you know what I mean? Like everybody's watching this because concussions are a serious deal. Like NFL got fined a bunch of money, had to pay a bunch of money for it. So everybody's paying attention to this. And when you consider retirement and you're sitting there going and you're taking jiu-jitsu or whatever you're taking to try and learn how to fall, like that's serious stuff.
Chat is popping right now, guys. We got everybody here. Tony, and we already ran through Bebop, and oh my gosh, we got Randy Daytona. Thank you for coming, dude. If you got questions, just shoot them in the comments, and we'll try to get to them. STEVO and Korey, we're just having a little bit more fun. We wanted to continue the show on a little bit, and we are talking about a little bit of dink and dunk. So if you've heard any of the conversation today or anything, basically. I kind of made the point. You got Sam, and that wasn't my point, but I heard the point made. Sam Darnold's the biggest quarterback we got. He's the one with the biggest arm. So ideally, right, he should be the one who starts. That's not necessarily how it works. We spent a lot of money for Trey Lance. He's supposedly healthy now, and the fan base does want to see him start. And then we have Brock Purdy, who hasn't really lost a game that he's finished. So we don't know if he's going to make all the throws at the end of the day either. We don't know how he's going to be with his elbow. So, and then we got David. What up, David? Well, guys, if you're not afraid, I can throw the link out there for David. But you know, we're not gonna bring everybody on because we don't get too crazy. So, David, if you want to come in,
put a shirt
so
on.
yeah, you got to put a shirt on, and we can't see the freezer. We've already seen the freezer. All right, David, I'm gonna put it in the chat, and anybody else who wants to come in, please have a shirt on. Hey, Bebop, if you can't keep, I mean, yeah, it's 2 a.m. in your time. We're going to go in the morning. So if you get up in the morning, you can make it 9 o'clock. We're going to have Johnny Chisari on and David McNiner.
Oh, that's the guy that knows all the numbers. Not the cap guy, but he knows all the numbers.
That's not Jason Hurley. Jason Hurley's the cap guy, but Johnny Chisari, you'll find him in, you've seen him before in Ryan Hensley's chat. And that's where primarily I see him at. Sometimes I think in Grant's chat. And
that's the guy you're down.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on last week. Was that the same guy?
Yeah, Monday. And we missed him.
Yeah, he's pretty knowledgeable with sport, with players and everything.
Yeah. And he's passionate. So that's what we want to try to bring on is passionate people. So Korey, how you doing over there?
I'm doing good. Tired.
Well, you can stay with us as long as you want. If you got to leave, that's okay. I'm still awake. Steve is still awake, and we kind of just want to kind of go over things. And if you got questions, ask because we're just chit chatting.
But I'm interested in the Super Bowl 2021 that we're gonna host. 2026.
I can't wait.
I'm hoping my Niners are real good still. And that, we still got a lot of our guys we still playing good. And we had that real good opportunity to make it. We can do like the Rams, play at our own home. A Super Bowl.
Tampa. It's hard to say because look, Trevor Williams won't be here then, right? Kyle Juszczyk won't be here. I think Mooney Ward won't be here anymore. So Eric Armstead won't be here anymore. So it's all up to the draft or trades. No idea. And 3 years seems like 6 years to me right now. I was hoping it was like 2 years away.
That's a good point. The team's definitely going to be in a process of transition, depending on whether if we have a quarterback, or if we change our head coach at that time. That's a good point too. In 2026, do you guys see us having another head coach, or do we still have Kyle?
I'm hoping we still have Cal. If you take us to the Super Bowl, win this season, take us to the Super Bowl and win it, I think Cal will be still with us.
I think he, as of right now, like 26 is like borderline. I think he has an unlimited pass right now because name other than Andy Reid, name a coach who's coached better than him the last 5 years.
That's a good point. The only one you could say would be Andy Reid.
He got 2 Super Bowls.
Yep.
Other than that, I couldn't even tell you who's third. Maybe the Bills. I don't know,
but let me see. What question I was to say? Okay, if we win the Super Bowl, where do you think the parade will be? Do you think it will be in Santa Clara, or do you think it'd be in San Francisco?
That's a good question. That's a
both.
Good question.
Yep. We're taking over everything. I think there'll be one where the stadium is Santa Clara, San Francisco. Because we show up everywhere.
I think it'd be in San Francisco because I remember that they said 2019 In 2019, they had a lot of streets in San Francisco block off. I mean, not 2019. No, I'm wrong. When did we host the Super Bowl? I mean, when did Santa Clara host the Super Bowl?
It was Super Bowl 50. I don't know which one that one was.
Yeah,
Was it
and
was it 2018? Can't know. Can't think right now. I know it wasn't 2019.
no, but I remember when we went to the Super Bowl though. And they was talking about because of the COVID, talking about I know the Niners, I know California is happy that the Niners did not win that Super Bowl because if they did, we would have had a parade and got more people sick. Corona.
Yeah, that's a good point. I heard that as well. Imagine if they would have had a Super Bowl, how many people could have got sick because of the parade. So,
I have
hey,
a question.
go ahead.
Does anybody have a marker? I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. But no, you guys, do you think it's because it's the off season, or like I said, I've only been on YouTube for maybe a year and a half, and you guys have your own channel. I think I asked you about it last week, Korey, but you were gone. What's up with all these content creator beefs? Is this a normal thing? Is it because of the QB thing? Like I don't understand. Like, there's probably been 10, and I probably, like, because I don't really have a Twitter, that I know of 5 for sure. But there's probably been 10. Like, what is that all about? Is it just about clicks and they're just playing? They're writing a script and they're just playing everybody, or is it serious, or is it racist, or what is it?
So I would like to start this one off. I think there's some great people out there that do YouTube, and we all know different names and stuff. Some people, you're like, oh man, you're a fan. You're a fan. No, they're not a fan, but they're very emotional or very passionate or very tied into the team, or they work closely with the team or make money off the team. Those are content creators, right? Then you have some people that are actually beat writers, and there's actually people that are into, like going on the radio, and that's what their profession is. And regardless if there's YouTube or not, you're still going to hear or read something that they wrote or said. Then you have people like maybe more like me, maybe more like Korey, that are just passionate fans who want to come together and maybe talk football with some people that might not necessarily ever meet each other because I mean, you live in Nevada. Korey lives in the Bay Area. I live in the Central Valley. I'm probably never going to meet you unless I was at a game or, whatnot. So I just like talking sports with other people. I love talking with my wife, Tony, and we go back and forth and we talk about things. But, at a certain point, I'm sure she wants to hear a different perspective as well, too. So, again, that's why, like, we used to listen to Rombo at night and we'd have our color pencils out and we'd have a lot of fun. And we wouldn't get into the chats because we're not trying to argue with anybody. We just wanted and then we'd look at each other and be like, you agree with that? No, I don't agree with that. And then we'd talk maybe for a couple minutes and then we'd listen to the rest of the show. So with that, I would say right now the fan base is divided because, again, there was a lot of people who liked Kyle Shanahan. And there's so many people that are mad that he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet. So that's like one base of the franchise. And then you have the fans that they just want a Super Bowl no matter what, right? And that they're kind of in that Kyle Shanahan thing, but they're not sold because he hasn't won it yet. Then it's like the quarterback people. They want a quarterback. Well, we got Jimmy. Well, Jimmy won 5 games, but nobody was everybody was happy with him until 2018, until he got hurt, right? So then he takes us to the Super Bowl and he loses the Super Bowl and no one will ever forget it because it was all on him. No one else lost the Super Bowl. It was just Jimmy Garoppolo. So then we draft Trey Lance and, the color and everything, Trey's different, just totally different than Jimmy, right? Jimmy throws give me passes, right? He doesn't throw the ball down the field. So we go after somebody who can throw the ball the whole entire length of the field primarily. And very young, Jimmy's not as young as this guy is, so it's almost like the whole team's like rebuilding at this point. And some people aren't looking at it like that, I think. But some people are like, we just got a different quarterback. We got somebody who can make all the plays or all the throws. Well, we have somebody who can, but who hasn't done it yet. So I think, again, the fan base is divided in several different ways. It's not really an equal slice of pie, but some people just want whoever's going to suit up and go out there and play quarterback. That's whoever's going to win. That's all they want. And then we have people that are just on their island by themselves. And
Yeah.
I can't be on an island, Steve-O. Corey, I got to be the guy that's like, hey, I'm a 49er fan. Even if Tim Rattay comes off the bench, I got to root for him. I went to a Blaine Gabbert game, okay? I seen the 49ers start Blaine Gabbert at Levi's. I mean, I'm not happy about that, but I'm happy that I got to go to the game, so, and we lost that game. So I'm really not happy, right?
Yep.
So that'd be my answer, Steve-O.
Yeah, it's a lot of times some people are just, they just they think they better than another person, so sometimes they rub the other person wrong, or they say, "Oh, they gotta put them down to try to make their show look better." Maybe they did something. Okay, I'm not gonna mention names, but there's one content creator.
What's his
He,
name?
I said I'm not gonna mention the name.
Oh, I thought you cut out. My bad.
He he was in Facebook and he fired all his staff members. So they mad.
I heard Ted earlier saying that. I thought he was joking, but he was saying, I don't know, his graphics guy, Lakers, Warriors, and he he thought they were joking. The guy's like, apparently it's the third time this guy blocked them, and this is the guy Ted's like graphic creator, and I guess he's like, I guess he's serious. This is the third time he's actually blocked me, so I guess I really need to move on. Well, that's crazy. Like,
It's like I know it's hard for me to share his videos in some of the groups because other persons don't like him. And that's what got me mad one time with this one guy because I shared his video and his picture right up there like this, and the guy deleted it. And so I got mad. I said, "Why you remove my video? You an admin just like I'm an admin. Why you come to me about why?" He said, "I don't like that person." I said, that's you. All you gotta do is hit I don't like that person. Or you can comment on about Ruby. I don't like this person. But do not delete my whole thing. So
so
me
you
and
guys
him,
don't think it's a whole script and that they're just doing it, you know what I mean, to create drama and content and clicks? You think it's serious, like actual beef?
I wouldn't say it's actual beef, but I would say people's feelings are definitely getting to the point they're emotional. Where we have people that come out and they literally scream on camera, kickers aren't people, and that's none of our
No,
friends.
they're people, but they're not football players. I'm gonna steal that one.
Yeah, so it's like, and it's like, did a kicker like steal your girlfriend or something in high school? I mean, like, what happened there? Because like something got like, and I don't know. So at that point, it's like it's funny, but and I know people like to start laughing and stuff when people start getting loud, and it does definitely makes clicks go up and people watch it and stuff like that. But for people to be collabing together and be like, hey, let's talk this stuff, and then other people will start listening, and then you could get mad at me, and then if you want, go ahead and punch me in the face, and tomorrow it'll be cool, dude. No, it's not cool. So if they're getting to that point, then well, more power to them because they're collabing, and like I don't want to say this is like the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing or whatever. I mean, like, did we stage this? So but if they are, okay, this right here, guys, isn't staged. This is all pure vibes. We're all just talking, having fun. This is me being pure, Stevo and Korey just talking. So again, if you guys have questions, just reach out and tell us. But I have something funny I want to kind of interrupt. There's a state, Texas, right? There's the state of Texas, and there's a city in Texas, and it's the city of Kyle. They are trying to break the record for having the most people named Kyle who live at the city. Oh my gosh. And tomorrow, the 21st, they're trying to go for the world record. So good luck to Kyle.
At least it's not Brandon.
Oh boy. Let's go, Brandon, right? If you guys know, you know.
So it's funny you mentioned that, Brian, because remember, like, I don't know, about a month ago, I told you the same exact thing. I said, you know what, I can be the heel. I mean, me and Aaron or whatever, and then he got all these things, and I was like, see, I didn't do nothing bad. I was like, I can do this with so and so because we had a little spat or whatever, and I was like, what I mean, I could be the heel, So it's kind of weird that you mentioned that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, but I'm not gonna say I can't guess if anyone's done that. But there's certain people, they work together a lot, and like even us, like I've gotten upset with a couple people, and I still am friends with people. I still hope they would consider me friends, and you have to understand it's just a conversation. It's an argument, and we can live to fight another day. But again, let's go back to that Sam Darnold. Who right here thinks he's going to beat everyone out to be the starter?
I mean, he's QB3. If you have any brains, he's QB3. I don't care who says it.
I mean, he could be 6'7". He still has to know the playbook.
The only question I haven't figured out is, was it TDR or, well, you know that guy, right? Whatever you wanted to draft him. Is that what it was? So the only thing that confuses me is we already had Sam Darnold's side then, so we had 3 QBs and we interviewed this guy 3 times. That's the only thing that confuses me as far as we're not keeping 4. So that's the only thing. Either Purdy's not going to be ready the whole year, or somebody's getting traded. That's the only thing that, like, I think there's a, I want to say longevity, but that's the wrong word. But that's the only thing that I think creates a valid point to anything happening, right? Because we 3 interviews. I mean, come on, he's not going to the practice squad.
It could be though. Okay, say for instance, okay, last season we had I just forgot his name, and then he went to the Eagles, and he was supposed to be the backup to Trey. What is his name?
Jimmy.
Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah. Nate Sudfeld was supposed to have been the guy. Supposed to have been Trey Lance, Nate Sudfeld, and Brock Purdy, because Jimmy was supposed to be gone. But then all of a sudden, Jimmy stayed on the team, and you were thinking that they would have got rid of Brock Purdy and kept Nate Sudfeld, but they got rid of Nate Sudfeld. So this could be another thing again. So they got 4 quarterbacks, but maybe Sam Darnold don't work out. So they might say, okay, we won't keep this other guy. He's working out. He beats out Sam Darnold. The coaches might say, Sam Darnold's not the person. So you really want to bring a whole bunch of players in that you can in that one position to try to make them see who's gonna be the guy. because nobody knew that Brock Purdy was going to be the guy. And all of a sudden, he went out there and he balled out.
I think you make a really good point right there too, and I want to elaborate just a little bit. The press reporters, they can only see so much of the practices, right? They have the open practices and then they have the closed practices. So how many reps do these quarterbacks really get? We're not seeing how many reps they're really getting. We're not seeing what they're really doing unless somebody comes out and leaks it and says, oh, they're practicing us too hard, or, they're making us, no, we don't know how many times they're going 1 a days or 2 a days unless somebody in the organization comes out and says, we're practicing more than we should. The days that the cameras are there and the reporters are there, they might only be doing like a couple of handoffs or a couple of passes between, the rotation of the quarterbacks. But when those guys aren't there, I would be very surprised to not see these guys going as hard as they could go, or being like, okay, this is really practice. Like the other time we got to do this because like the company, the union's watching us right now. I know you guys have all had jobs, and I know there's like the way you're supposed to work so you don't get hurt officially or fired, right? And then the way you have to work when no one's around so you can get the job done. And like, I'm not allowed to go on roofs. But I've been on roofs at my property because at a certain point you have to do it. You have to go, and oh, you can't. Okay, no, you can. And if somebody questions you, as long as you don't get hurt, more likely you're not getting fired. Like, are you going to go up and are you going to save the day, or are you going to wait there 4 hours until somebody can get there? And then, no, there's certain things that you have to do. You don't want to go and unclog the toilet. Okay, I get it. But, sooner or later, somebody's going to have to do it. So again, I would like to say, like, these guys are practicing more than we know. Korey? Maybe lost Steve. He might come back, but
let me see. Not last season, off season, but the other off season where I went to the training camp, and you could tell that who the coach's favorite, the quarterback, because all of a sudden it was like you could see Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo working together on the ball, while the other quarterback, he's all by himself. He's throwing the ball on his other side of the field. Why he can't be teamed up with Jimmy and Trey Lance, throwing the ball? Why did they separate him? I can't remember who the third one was, but I know it was Jimmy and Trey Lance. And I'm like, and we like looking. I'm like, and everybody wasn't paying because the one that's by himself, he was on my side. So for me to see Trey Lance and Jimmy throw the ball, I had to look to the other end, part of the end zone, to see them, and nobody was paying attention to this guy that's right in front of us throwing the ball. Everybody wanted to see Jimmy and Trey Lance.
Yeah. I think Randy said he was a rapper. So like, Randy, just pop on. I'm gonna hear something. I don't know about the Mayans or Incas. I'm still here. But my whole thing is, I don't think we deserve a sixth ring, because our fan base is like so disrespectful to each other. Like, look, when I made a mistake and I commented on somebody's video later, I got like 40 messages, you know what I mean? Just I was like, all night I'm on there, like, trying to set people straight. Like, yeah, just because I typed one message, it's like, we're not like, we're not going to agree on everything. Just like the war room isn't, right? Like, we all thought, everybody in here, I guarantee you, every content creator had a different tight end they wanted picked, right? Because we all never gone there. Nobody probably got that pick right. Either of them, right? We all had different views. Now look at Kincaid. He's going from tight end to wide receiver, and I know one guy was really hyped on him. But I mean, arguing, like, having different opinion is going to happen. But when you start like somebody, oh, this guy looks like a freaking turkey ball. Like that stuff. Like last year, I was like, hey, look, say what you want about Jimmy. I'm not a fan, but I'm not gonna let you know I'm not a fan by the way I type because I'm gonna make it neutral. But like, don't break up with your girlfriend and then ask for a ride home. And we almost needed that ride home if he would have been healthy that last game. You know, we literally almost needed it. So like, don't. That's karma. You know what I mean? When you're talking bad about somebody and then you like, hey, I just broke up with you. Can you give me a ride home so I don't have to walk in my Lamborghinis? This is like just some. I don't know. I just you know how many times I had to type "do better" tonight after I wrote what I had to write. I just had to be, come on, man, do better. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we deserve them.
I went on a lot of people's shows. I wasn't trying to troll, but maybe I was. But I would go on people's shows and I would say, hey, Jimmy Garoppolo, at Subway's got that sandwich deal, And I heard, we're still in the contract talk of getting him cut or re-signed, or and a lot of people are, oh, he's cut, right? Well, I listened to that from like January or February till August, and I just kept on saying, well, maybe they'll cut him, maybe they won't, because Trey Lance was supposed to start. Well, he ended up starting, but Jimmy still made the team. And I went to people, and I wasn't rude, but I did say it, hey, maybe he'll be on the team week 1. No one else seems to want him. Maybe he'll take a restructured deal, this or that. Oh, I'm crazy. I'm just a Jimmy stan. No, I mean, like, why are you going to cut the guy if he's not going to give you anything in return? Why are you going to? It's the same concept with Trey right now. Why would we trade Trey if we can't get a good return for him? So I just think it's just one of those things, like, you either like him or you like him. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. You can like the team. And I think you make a good point too, STEVO, is like right now the fan base is divided. I don't necessarily know that we have to be, as one to earn a Super Bowl or get a Super Bowl, but we're not the fans. We're not playing the game. We're just complaining about the game.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see the team win.
Yeah, it's and we don't really know if that person really feuding to. It could be a thing like this. I want to build us some chemistry on my show, and say I'm making fun of Brian making fun of me, so everybody wants to tune in, and we can say tune in on this day, so we can so people say, oh, I gotta see this. Korey and Brian gonna have war. I know they are. They've been feuding all week. He been on this show talking about Brian, and Brian been on this other show talking about Korey. And really, on the background, me and Brian like laughing because we know we're not really feuding, but to build up our channel to get people tuned in. And so they come, and then we come together, and we were like, we got you. We're not feuding. We got you.
But there are some narratives that I see people pushing that I'll listen to an extent, but after a few weeks, like, I'm done with it. Like, and I'll give you guys an example. Trey Lance isn't starting because he's not white. Okay, so who's the only white person on defense?
Bosa?
Who's the only white starter on defense?
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. I mean, I was in school. For me, it was total opposite. So I don't know how he feels, and I don't know if it's an issue at all. But Nick Bosa's so who's the only white starting running back in the league?
CMC.
CMC. Did we draft a white person in the draft this year?
Jake Moody.
Now I researched that and I couldn't get to a definitive answer. I think no, I did. I literally was like, and I'm thinking England. Like I just couldn't find an answer, and that's okay. But I don't know for a fact. Man, I couldn't fact check it, so I just took it.
And then we lost STEVO. And I think Jake Colito from Oregon, but he wasn't drafted. I think he's an undrafted free agent. But Korey, how you feeling, man? I think we're nailing some good points here. It's our feelings, right? If we can get past our feelings, maybe the Niners can win.
Yeah. Well, it's just us having this feud, you know. I
So
don't
like,
think anybody in the locker room's a feud.
so like I said, I couldn't find for sure Moody, but as far as I could tell, we didn't draft for one. And then this guy earlier is like Jimmy G. What is Nick Bosa and Jimmy G? Jimmy G's not white. I'm like, dude, he had a freaking Italian sandwich named after him. Like, I mean, you don't even watch commercials. So my whole point is like, I'm not even gonna get into the coaching, right? Because we obviously lead everybody in that. So if the Niners are racist, you know what I mean? So that can't be. You know what I mean? There's no way you can put that into perspective to me. None. Zero. That's my whole thing. Like,
I think since Kaepernick came onto our team, I think a lot of people have been pushing the narrative. I'm going to say it, and if people don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to be as political and professional as possible. The police brutality is definitely an issue among all races, among all skin tone colors and stuff. I've been stopped 3 times for playing Pokemon Go, walking my dog.
you playing
You know,
outside?
I was walking down the street and the police officer pulled up next to me. What are you doing? Walking my dog, playing Pokemon Go. I had my phone. Keep
Oh,
walking.
I would have arrested you.
Keep going. Keep walking. I'm like, really? Like, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. I've had, friends that are cops, and I've had people that aren't nice cops treat me one way or another. And I get it. There does need to be some change. But Kaepernick, guy didn't start kneeling because of police brutality. Guy started kneeling because he wasn't starting. From there, he changed his narrative or whatever. That's fine. If he wanted to start kneeling and saying it's police brutality, that's he moved on to do that. But the truth is, he wasn't starting, and he was sitting on the bench, and that's a bad look to sit on the bench during the anthem. So then he started kneeling, and then he said, "Why are you kneeling?" Oh, it's not because I'm not starting. That's the whole bad thing from there, because then we started having a lot of people like, and then the president come out and said some stuff like, about the prison system, and he would fire this so and so, and then it's been ugly. And then we go and draft like Bosa after he said certain things, and again, I've said it. Maybe social media is a little bit too much, where we are trying to be friends. We're just trying to be friends here, right? But we are listening to like the players, and we're trying to follow them on social media, and we're trying to follow like different so and so's on me, and at a certain point it's like you don't really know this person, you just know what they're typing. You don't really, and if that's how they really think, okay, but they could type some weird shit. Like Steve, you type some weird shit sometimes, and then you don't really mean it, or you mean it in a cryptid way. And is this what other people are doing? The same thing, so like now we're giving these 23-year-olds like a platform to be like superstars, because why? We like football so much, so we have to hear everything that they say. No, this is, we made the world smaller. It's not necessarily the best thing. We want to pay these guys money. We want to kind of do the same thing they're doing, right? Some people are like, man, if I could be a quarterback, I'd make millions of dollars. Well, again, why aren't they giving police officers this money? Why aren't they giving firefighters or ambulance drivers? Because it's not entertainment, right? It's not entertainment unless it's on TV, unless Cops is on TV, right? So again, I would just have to go back and say we have some people, and maybe they're just, that's the way they feel inside, and they're just longing to see somebody come out that's the same color as them, or they want, because I can't tell you that the skin color is going to determine the way the quarterback plays on the team, or the skin color of the wide receiver is going to determine him catching the ball. Or, I mean, we've had too many different colors at different positions. I don't care who's playing. I just want the Niners to win a Super Bowl. And that's why I go and get. I've done it. You guys seen it. I have a personalized jersey because you're not cutting me.
Corey, do you
Yeah.
think that Kaepernick kneeled because he wasn't starting?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah, I think it was more he, because a soldier came to him, said, sit on the national anthem, kneel, and kneel on it. And if you kneel, it's not being disrespectful to us. Because he is right, though. Black people are, people of color are, please treat them different. Like they did some studies, show some studies where, like I seen it on the bus, this Caucasian got pulled over by the police officer, and then he jumped out the car. The officer didn't go for his gun or nothing. I was like, "Hey, sir, can you get in the car?" Nah, he did that to a black person. Same thing to a black person. He went for his gun real fast. Said, "Get out of the car!" He yelling at him. Said, "Sir, can you please get in the car? Get in the car! Don't you get out the car!"
Yeah, I never heard Brian's take as far as he was kneeling because he wasn't starting. So that's why I was curious. I mean, I know he talked to the military and they said, if you kneel, it won't be disrespectful, which could have been that only guy's like, he could have been the only guy that thought that. But um,
And what Corey's saying is true. A military person did come up to him.
yeah,
A military person did come up to him and say, "Hey, why don't you start doing this?" But he originally wasn't starting. He wasn't starting because he didn't win the job. He had an injured shoulder and an injured knee. So he come into camp and we didn't. He started he became a vegan. He came in underweight. So there was a lot of intangibles on why he lost the job, the starting job. So he came in and he did. He went and sat down on the bench because the national anthem was coming on and he wasn't starting. And they made a big deal about it on the sidelines. And then after that, somebody came to him from his base and said, "Dude, you got to change your look." So
well,
it wasn't over police brutality to begin with. It really wasn't. But if I'm wrong, hey, I'm okay to say I could be wrong, and that's just what I've heard from everything I've read, everything I've heard from players to reporters, and like my parents, they stopped watching football because of him. I didn't, but
yeah,
you
I've
know,
had a few people say that. I mean, that's like, you're going
You
to punish
can't
yourself? Punish yourself. Okay, that sounds good.
you
yeah.
can't post him on Facebook pages, sports in groups because of that. You couldn't you can't post none of his stuff because
So
of that.
before he kneeled, do you guys know what he did the week before?
What he did, was it wearing the pig socks in Denver?
I think that was the week after, but so the week he kneeled, the week before, because he wasn't starting, nobody paid attention. He sat on the bench during the national anthem. Nobody noticed because he wasn't starting. He didn't stand up. He just sat on the bench, and they
Yep.
got no recognition from the beat writers, from the podcasters. Nobody noticed. So that's when he was like, and nobody made it a big deal. Nobody noticed. How do you not notice with 1,000 cameras or whatever? So the next week, he talks to the guy, and then he kneeled. And what I'll say about, like, I think this does come into play with Trey is that, me personally, like, I've always been a pretty clean cut guy. Every 3 weeks get a haircut, but I think he should know better to try and pull that look after Kaepernick. You know what I mean? Whether you agree with him or disagree with him, or whatever his hairline is, like, he's I don't know if he's going for the same look, but he's got the same look, which is not, is probably, well, I'd assume it's not helping him, but maybe that's part of the divide in the base too, or, the fan base. I mean, I could be wrong, but, I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
I want the guy to succeed. I really do. But there's been some weird stuff that's happened inside the 49er organization that shouldn't have been coming out, or why are you gonna have a party and then let those pictures come out? Like the making it rain dance and stuff like that. I understand he's young. I understand. You're having fun, but who got to go to that party and take those pictures, and who did not get their ass kicked for it? And if they did, they should have got their ass beat, because that's like, you just wait. Do you know how devastating that really was for Trey Lance's career? I mean, a lot of people now are going to always say, "Oh, well, the guy's not professional. He's not a nice guy, this or that, he doesn't respect women," or whatever you want to say, because what he was doing in those pictures. And that's not the truth. We don't know the person individually. You could have just been having a fun event, and just be like, "Hey, I'm here and I'm just going along with the ride." Well, you guys ever come to my house, start taking pictures and put them on the internet, we're not friends anymore. You know what I mean? Because that's not how you do things. You don't go to parties and post pictures of other people doing stuff.
No didn't get publicity, and he did it way before Kaepernick. He sat out on that anthem. Marshawn Lynch, and nobody said nothing. Nobody mentioned it, talked about it. Didn't even approach him and ask him, "Why are you sitting on the bench on the national anthem?"
But see, even Reed was his boy that did it with him. He got signed, but was it the Ravens, right? That's why he.
Yeah.
Huh? That's why That's why they had to pay him, Kaepernick, because that right there proved guilty.
Well, okay, and I don't know if you guys heard this or not. I think I've said it. Kaepernick took Alden Smith's girlfriend, and I think her name is Nisa. She had an MTV show in New York. Kaepernick and her were, they were dating. Well, she was running her mouth a lot about what was going on with Kaepernick. Kaepernick was trying to leave the 49ers. There was an opportunity for him to go to the Broncos, and that fell out. And then there was an opportunity for him to go to the Ravens, and he almost got signed with the Ravens. The Ravens offered him a contract. And the next night, that night, she come out and said, "Well, why do you want to go play for the Ravens?" And she posted it on Twitter, or she posted it was posted. She said, "Why would you want to go and play for a racist owner like the Ravens?" And then the next morning, the Ravens said, we're not signing you. We're pulling our contract back from you. Thank you for your interest in our team, but we're not interested in you. And then they started saying he was blackballed. How are you blackballed when people are offering you a contract, but you don't want to go play for Denver because you don't want to take what they're offering you? You don't want to go to the Ravens, or you do want to go to the Ravens, but your wife or your girlfriend's talking for you. And like, Korey, I know you're a little bit older than me. I imagine you've never went to an interview and had someone else speak for you or done the job for you. So like, with a girlfriend speaking for you and saying, she's not married to you, this isn't a financial decision, that this is you, this is your life. So at a certain point, like, when's he going to say, "Hey, I like you, but let me do me. Let me see where I can go. And maybe if I find out this guy is racist, then I'll figure it out and I can go somewhere else." But it wasn't like he was going to the Washington Commanders. He was going to the Ravens. So are we really saying, was the old owner's name Ozzy? Was he the one that they were talking about, that they were trying to say was racist? Because I really just don't buy it, man.
The 49ers. Boy, I love to see us move back to San Francisco. I love to see us have a stadium out there. So people start saying, "Oh, y'all the Santa Clara 49ers."
Yeah, I really hate to see him move. I really hate to see him move. So I think one day they'll move back.
I had no idea until you said earlier the stadium was built in 2014. I thought it was only like 4 years old.
Yeah, 2014. Right after we lost the NFC Championship game, we moved into Levi's, and it was last year because the pick and the stick happened in 2013. And
Yep.
man, I
Are
got
you
a
guys
picture of
going to
that.
any games? Are you guys going to any games this year?
Not me. I'm not planning on to let somebody buy me a ticket like they did before. My nephew bought me the ticket to go to that game.
I'd like to go. I'm not going to say I'm not going, but we just don't know. 2 years ago, we got to go to the Packer game. I didn't know we were going to be going to that one. So we got lucky. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
I picked up a Deals on Wheels yesterday, and there's a guy selling a bunch of tickets on there. And I was supposed to go to one, but I ended up. I went to this gas station to get cigarettes, and I lost like $300, and then I didn't notice for like 3 days, and I was like, crap. So, but I was looking. My travel wouldn't be it's a long ride, but like the gas prices and the tickets, they're not that bad. I'll probably go to one.
Yeah, they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
I just,
They're a
I
lot
just
of fun.
sometimes I get anxiety just going to like a job interview. And when I went to Candlestick for Metallica, Kid Rock, Korn, Power Man 5000, and System of the Down, like this dude had like a heart attack or something in line, and it was kind of weird. And then because I've always driven my whole life, out of all my friends, I didn't drive. My friend was passing cars in 4 lanes, hauling butt. And we went to Marine World, or we went to a baseball game, the Niner game, and the what's it called, where Charlotte works, or whatever.
Great America.
Great America.
So we did all those 3 in a weekend, right? And then because I wasn't driving, I got car sick, and then we were like the first 300 in the pit, and then all of a sudden I started seeing stars, like black and white checkerboards, and I was like, oh crap. And they're like, everybody's smoking weed, I was smoking weed, everybody's smoking weed, anything you could think of, security didn't care. I was like, dude, I can't see anything, I don't know what happened. And they were like, well, let us know because we got to get you out of here. And that was kind of a trip, but yeah, that was the only time I was at Candlestick, so I definitely want to catch a game.
Well, I've been to Candlestick twice, and I've been to 49ers 3 times. Been Levi 3 times.
And I had garlic fries for my first time, and I remember because I was leaving the pit, and it was so embarrassing because I just threw up those garlic fries everywhere, and I was like, "Oh my god, everybody can see me!" It was so embarrassing.
I remember this lady tried to start some mess with me. I think she was trying to get me mad at her, and because I was sitting there and I was on Facebook Live at the end of the game, and I said, "Oh, we lost, but hey, I'm still a Niner for life," and all that. I was saying, and then the lady looked at me and she gave me this weird look, and I just looked at her like this, and she kept on looking at me. I said, "Excuse me, why are you looking at me?" She said, "Because you said that word." I said, "What word?" She said, "You said the word." I say that word. "Yes, you did." I said, "Lady, I'm a teacher, and I try to teach my kids not to say that word. You said that word." I said, "How you gonna sit there and tell me I said that word when I know I didn't say that word? I got it on video right here. I'm doing a Facebook Live right now. And I bet you, if I ask," so I said like this, "Anybody hear me say that word?" And everybody in my audience like, "No, no, no." So you the only one heard the word. And then she said, "Oh, okay. But how you feel about me um, getting upset about you saying the word when I'm a Caucasian lady and telling you?" But right now, and I'm looking at her and I say, "She's trying to get me mad. She's trying to get me mad, and I get mad, and then her boyfriend or whoever the guys is with her start jump on me."
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was game. I said,
Yeah.
I'm not getting mad. You know?
The only thing I don't like is last year I went to like a Reno Aces game, which I think is the affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the price, the tickets are cheap. I used to go quite a bit, but then because I ordered online, now they got somehow got my phone number and all this stuff, and they keep calling me up for all these deals and everything. Like it's cool to have like dollar taco days and like dollar beers, but like I'm not trying to normal price. I'm not trying to spend one beer, which I could literally buy a 12 pack for. And you can imagine the stadium is probably way more than that. That's my only like. You're straight up telling me I'm ripping you off to my face. That's what bugs me.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate the beers at the game. They were Bud Light. They have other beer too, but I didn't appreciate it. They come in metal bottles, because they don't want glass. I get that. But it was hot. Yeah, I don't know. And then for the price of the beer, I'm just like really looking at the beer, and I'm just like, I didn't want to spend that much money on a beer or this one in particular. So yeah, I definitely feel it. But hey guys, it's 11:35. Let's go ahead and call it if you guys don't mind. And then if you want to come on in the morning, see me in the morning. And tomorrow morning should be Johnny Chisari and David McNiner, and we'll probably have a panel after that. We'll give David and Johnny a little bit of time to talk to each other, and then we'll go from there. And then we got Ryan Hensley coming on Sunday.
Is that a call too?
That one, Ryan's going to be on until like 9:45, and then we'll probably drop the link and have a panel after that.
After he's gone?
Yeah, probably, because he's going to go do his show.
That doesn't help me.
I know. And then, but
I'll be there for you.
And then Jay in the Bay, what's good? Coming on Monday, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. And of course, Korey Davis' show on Sunday, and we'll just keep going from there. But yeah, guys, let's. I haven't ate anything yet. I'm gonna go get a slice of pizza. And
what? Pizza from where? 7-Eleven?
No. Actually, I don't mind the 7-Eleven pizza so much. I know Bashar says it's not very good, but it's cheap and it's yummy to me. So, but it's better. I think the 7-Eleven pizza tastes better than the Little Caesar pizza. That's just my opinion. Yeah. But my wife actually got a pizza from Walmart, and it's one of those home baked pizzas. So I'm gonna try to go eat that.
Hey, just so you know, until I believe the 21st, if you order from Domino's, any delivery, you get a medium. I don't know if it's 2-topping for sure, but you get a medium pizza for free until the 21st, which sucks because I just went and got Wingstop chicken sandwich, buy one for $6, give one free. And then I see this and I'm like, oh no, you guys are killing me. I'm trying to lose weight. But just so you know, till the 21st, you get a medium pizza for free at Domino's.
That's cool. I'll try to check that out because tomorrow's just the 20th. So we might be eating pizza again.
I mean, you can't beat it.
That, guys, thank you so much for coming. Korey, STEVO, let's do this again sometime. And with that, guys, stay faithful. And
all right.
Don't dink and dunk out there, y'all.
See you Sunday.
All right, go Niners. Thank you, guys.